Amen. Hi, good morning. I hope you're all doing fine. We'll wait for Charity to join, then we can take off with our session. Thank you. Thank you for joining. You're welcome. Okay, so we'll wait for Charity to join, then we can take off from there. Thank you. Okay. Charity is unable to join. Please give us some few minutes. We are trying to get Charity to join, then we can take off immediately.
Oh, hi.
It's been a long time.
Yes, it's been a long time. Please, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me as well?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome.
Let me see if I can. Okay, I think that works.
Great.
Great.
I think we can give it some 2 minutes, so we take off by 10:05.
Okay.
Yeah. How is everything? It's been a while.
I know. It's been a while. Definitely been a while. How is everything at your end?
Oh, by grace, one day at a time.
I know, one day at a time.
Yeah.
I am just having to relearn everything about motherhood all over again. So I just have my third baby. Thank you. So it's a lot stressful here trying to manage everything, but we just have to manage.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the things that I've learned throughout this third journey is that you really have to prioritize your well-being. Okay.
Wow.
So prioritizing your well-being, it's mostly about just not overdoing everything, wanting to be the superwoman, doing everything. So sometimes you just have to delegate, make sure that your family helps you, because honestly,
it's not
you may break down.
tell you. Good.
You may break down. Yeah.
By 5, we are going to take off. So
Yeah.
I could probably do a short intro before 10:05, then from
That's
10:05.
fine.
Today, we are looking at the different stages of getting your business online and how to build your business processes in a tech world. So we are in the era of digitalization, and we are all looking at ways businesses to improve and make it better. So we have Charity here, who is an expert in digital marketing, especially when it comes to consulting. So today is our day with her to ask her all the questions that what's it called, building our businesses using tech. So today's session will be quite different. It's not going to be the usual question and answer session. We are leaving Charity to do her thing. So as and when the discussion is ongoing, you can drop your questions, and once we have it, she would answer them. Thank you, Charity. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I understand that there's a lot of roles, or there's a lot of tech opportunities that spring out like all of the time, and most of the time I had to like explain a little bit more about what I do, just to clear or maybe give people the opportunity if they want to, if they want help or anything, right? So most of the time, a digital consultant or a digital strategist, aside digital marketing, which is a very, very big part of what we do, we actually help you in your digital transformation journey, right? So digital transformation journey, aside from digital marketing, you are looking at tech tools, leveraging the tech tools in your different business operations or different business processes, right? So there are times that founders just found a new shiny object or a new shiny technology, and because everybody is talking about it, they want to jump on it, right? So for instance, ChatGPT, that's the biggest buzz right now. Now, as a digital consultant, when we talk with you, we want to make sure that you are actually in the position to use ChatGPT, and we use a couple of factors. So in my work as a digital consultant, I'm not only just maybe making businesses sell their products through digital marketing, but I'm also helping you to be able to use digital tools. I'm helping you with strategy, knowing how to move from point A to point B, and I'm also helping you with how to I don't know how to use this word, how to leverage your online platforms. Let me put it that way. So using the tech platform is different, but now you have your website, you have your app, you have all these platforms that your business is using, right? But there are times that business owners, they just get stuck. They don't know what to do with it. So as digital consultants, we come with you and we access all your digital assets. What do you have? Do you only have social media? Do you have a website? Do you use other tools like maybe HubSpot, MailChimp, SMS platforms? How do we integrate in such a way that you are making the most important use of your platforms, right? So that is what we do in its entirety. And most of the time, I have to keep explaining because sometimes people would only think that you're only doing digital marketing. No, exactly. You're not only doing digital marketing, but in the broader sense, I'm also helping you use your MailChimp. I'm helping you use your Nalo SMS platform, which your company does. I'm also helping you do a lot more other things with strategy. You don't know what to do. And then I come in, I help you use your platforms properly so that you can reduce your costs and maximize your business as you grow. Now, before I move into this, most of the time I ask of the audience and what type of business that they are into. And I'm beginning to find that in our setting, most business owners are rather small businesses. Because I work with a lot of 6 to 7 figure businesses, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to want to scale down a bit to maybe a small business. Sometimes I talk about concepts that are probably like that suit big or large 6 to 7, 8 figure companies than maybe to a startup or someone who started them. So today I decided that I'm going to go with small business. I'm going to try my very best just to scale down the concept and make sure that it is actually what a small business will need, right? So recently I was listening to a business executive that I follow, Vuzi. I know most of us know Vuzi, right? And he said there are 5 levels to business, right? The first one is a professional. So you are the only person in the business. You have this qualification and you are giving out services to other people. That's the first level most people start from. And then the second level is when maybe you have 1 or 2 people where you give out tasks to, right? So you are still doing the core business, but you just offset some part of your business to them so that they can just help you, so that you can maximize your time as the business owner. And then there's the third option where now you employ professionals just like you, right? At this level, you've grown from just 1 or 2 people doing side tasks, but these professionals are actually doing the work with you. So for instance, if you're a content writer, you hire other content writers, right? And these people are actually also doing the work. at this point, as a business owner, a small business owner, what you have to do probably is just to quality test the work that they've done so that it has the voice, the brand of the business and stuff, right? So I see a lot of people who are growing to this level where all of a sudden they're not just the only interior decorators, but they are also hiring other people who are interior decorators. But you come back and check that everything is according to your brand and what it is that you have, right, as a business. So that's the third. The fourth and the fifth is when, for instance, you have grown and then you've actually like operationalized SOPs in your business and stuff like that. That is like higher from them. But in this contest, I would be talking more about small business. Maybe you're the professional, or you employ one or two people to just help you, or the third where maybe some other person who has the same skill set as you is also in the business. So this is what I'll be talking about. So anytime I mention a business, I'm actually talking about small business in the first three sets so that it's easier for us to move as we go. Okay. Now, the first question is the first question people ask me is that what is a digital business and what does a digital business do, right? So a digital business in its true concept is a business whose processes, all of its processes is done online, right? A very limited part of it is done just maybe outside or offline, but then all of its work is done online, right? So most of the time, the typical example that we give for a digital business is an e-commerce, it's a digital marketing company.
Okay.
A digital marketing company, you do the flyers online, you write the content online, you do everything offset to the customer, production of the work, everything is done online. And in its true ideal nature, a digital business, we use the digital marketing company. So if you are running a digital marketing company, then you must know that you are operating a digital business. There are other ones which are number one, maybe like Amazon, where Amazon is helping booksellers to also sell. Amazon does not produce the book offline or nothing. They only provide the platform and make sure that booksellers are able to offset their books to another. So in its entirety, Amazon is helping, right? If I want to bring the example home, it's something like Mukafric when I started initially like a marketplace. When I was helping people who make homemade items, right? I don't make the wooden place. I don't do any of that, right? But what I do is that I provide the platform for people to come and sell. So a marketplace in this sense is also a digital business, right? And then there's the other one, which is the e-commerce. Now, e-commerce has different ways, right? I know that there's a lot of us, most businesses in Ghana are e-commerce businesses. They are selling something, some form of product or service. Now, if you are an e-commerce, maybe just a limited part of your operation is done offline, which is maybe you produce the shea butter or you produce the baskets, right? And then there's the service base, which I will call a typical online or a typical digital business, right? Because if you are providing consulting service or coaching services, I don't think you go offline to go and do anything. Now, if you are in this set of businesses, please, you may want to listen as we go about. Now, why should you digitize your business? Without the willingness to invest and rapidly adopt, businesses of all sizes face a very, very real threat of becoming increasingly irrelevant to a society that has obsession with all things smart and mobile. Now, anytime I'm saying this, it's quite relevant in another part of the world, maybe in the US or anywhere, right? But then when we come to Africa, we have this mindset that, oh, how many people are using mobile service? No interest. But let me tell you one thing. Number one, we are evolving. Okay, even if the pace is not that much or the pace is not that big, we are actually evolving because the number of people that are added to the internet is increasing. Initially, it was 20. Now it's 22. Maybe tomorrow it'll be 24% of people. And these people are increasingly young people. Some of them are business owners, and the number keeps increasing. So that is one thing you have to keep in mind. If you want to be a business who build legacies, who build generational businesses, who build businesses that can outlive you, you want to be able to think through how I can leverage tech tools or digital tools to build a truly online business. That's number one. Number two, we are a global business, right? So if you are a global business, what do you want to be thinking about? You know that somebody from India can reach out to you, or somebody from US or Australia. Now, when these people are coming to buy from you, from experience, they don't care whether you are in a village, they just want their products. And if the process is a little bit cumbersome because you have not digitized some part of your product or processes, what is going to happen is that the person is going to get fed up with you, right? So for instance, I was selling my wooden bowls and stuff, but somebody from Holland, they said, oh, I want your plate. What am I going to do? Am I going to say, oh, wait, let me get back to you, blah, blah, blah? Or I was going to digitize my process by creating an e-commerce platform that describes the product, number one. Number two, the person sees all the FAQs. Number three, the person sees all the shipping policies. The person sees everything that has to inform him or her just to be able to purchase the product, right? And then the person goes to click buy, and then shipping information, everything, and then you give the time, and then DHL comes to pick your product. That's scenario number one. Quite easy, right? And then the other process is the person messages you, what do you use to produce your shea butter? You wait 5 days before you come and respond to the person. And then the next day is how long will shipping take? I mean, all these things you could have put them, documented it into your FAQs, right? And so what this means is that digital businesses advantages. Digital businesses are, let me say, they have a higher rate of scale, right? And then the ease of doing business is truly on their side. Okay, and also the fact that it's very convenient when you're asleep. Somebody can truly visit your business because it's not at a physical location, but the person is visiting your business online, and that person is visiting, right? And then the other point to it is that your cost will greatly increase when you want to serve your customers. Initially, when you want to set up a store, I know people still do it today, right? Where you have to go and then get a storefront, and then number two, maybe you have to pay rent, you have to pay electricity, you have to pay all these things, right? But today, you don't necessarily. When you are getting a storefront, the only reason why you're getting a storefront is because your customers want to see your product, which is a problem African or Ghanaian businesses have to overcome, right? That is the only reason. It's not because without the online business, they cannot reach to you, or they cannot buy from you. Okay, so we are getting to the good stuff, which is the steps or the different ways to get online or to start inculcating online into your business. The first, which is very like basic, is phone calls, right? So once you are sharing your flyer stuff, you can put your mobile phone or your business number there, and people can reach out to you, people can call you. That's number one. And then number two, which is extremely common, is the social media. That's number two. If you are on social media, trust me, you are online. Okay, I'm saying this because not a lot of people are actually on social media. That's true, right? So that's the second step. And social media does not only mean Facebook or IG. There are so many Google business listing. There are so many TikTok. Think about them. You have to be very creative, right? So I realized that sometimes some social media platforms, they bring new features. And new features is new. What that means is that once you are one of the first businesses who is trying it, you will get the traction because they are trying to promote that feature. That's one secret. So for instance, let's say Google My Business, when it started at first, most people didn't put their business on Google My Business. But When I knew about it at first, I put my business on Google My Business, and people directly just come straight to my place. Today, people call me from Google My Business. People say, oh, I just went to Google, I saw this. Can you? I'm shocked. Even today, it works. Yeah. So when we talk about being social media, I want to define it in the broader context where you are lending a platform from the owner of the company, right? So the owner of Meta is Mark Zuckerberg. You are lending his platform, right? And then I'm also going to push it a bit into maybe when I talk about Google My Business, there's also the marketplace. Jumia has customers. They have, you have to find a way to leverage other people's platforms when you're starting. What is the reason? Number one, if you're going to build a website, you're going to pay a lot when you're building a website. If you're going to want to do your own platform, the problem with all of this is that you would be paying a lot. You'll be paying a lot to manage. You'll be spending a lot of time to manage. But once you are on people's platform and stuff, number one, you can get data for free. Yeah. How many people are interested in my products? How many people are coming? The only reason why I want to rebrand Mukafreak is because of Google My Business and the data I have gotten from there. Wow. I see the people asking questions. Today, I don't even operate the business like I ought, but still, 500 people have looked for you. They've viewed your business and you're like, okay, who are these people? Where are they coming from? You don't know them, right? So if you're a business owner, please look out for other people who own platforms that you can be on. Why? Because you can reduce your cost and you can increase your sales channels to other places so that you can get more, right? If you're a professional coach, you are looking at LinkedIn, you are looking at Medium, you are looking at Twitter, you are looking at these platforms that people are normally looking for professional services or professional coaching services, right? That's the second one. And then the third one is a website. I'm not going to go deep into website and app, right? Building a website is a whole conversation that we have to have maybe on a different day. But remember that if you are building a website, you need to think through the fact that your business has come to a level where, remember, there's a cost because you have to buy hosting, you have to buy domain, you have to buy, sometimes you have to buy a theme, you have to get a customized person to build it for you and all these other things, right? But one good thing we tell people who come to build a website after we've gone through all these factors with them is that now they have their platform. People can go to wemompreneurs.com and they can read about you. You don't have to do much. You don't have to go through the hassle of trying to, maybe one day they say Facebook is down, your business is down. Jumia is down, your business is down. I woke up yesterday working on a client's business and I realized that Google My Business is down. So everything, all the reviews, everything gone. And we have to move the business to Google Maps, right? So now, if you are using Google My Business, please note that you have to go to Google Maps now, right? You have to build your status, you have to build your Google profile and everything. Once people go there and they look for you, they can always find you on what? Google My Business, and then you can always have your business. I know that it works because it works for me. If I were sharing my screen, I will show you some of this data and stuff. And then also there's the third level, which is the mobile application. Now, mobile application is a way where I don't want to say invade the customer's privacy in a very nice way, right? So in this manner, what is happening here is that the person downloads, put it on the phone. And then one of the good things that we stress on in our consultancy is that the person can be able to see daily notifications from you, which they won't otherwise if it's a website or social media or anything like that. You can actually integrate SMS and all this stuff inside of your mobile app and they can get notification. So an example is if you download maybe an MTN app, every time they send you, oh, do this quickly, get this free data, aside getting SMS, which people are very put off on, you can use the notification to, use for mobile applications. So does anyone have any question before I get to how to get your business online? Yeah. The steps that you have to go through.
I'm going to
That's
the.
my last option. My
Oh,
last prison. Yeah. Okay.
if there are any questions.
I can still go on.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, okay. We can continue.
Okay. All right. So, what are some of the steps that you need to think about when you have to get your business online at the foundation stage, right? I'm going to speak a little bit more about e-commerce because I know most of us do service products, right? And then I'll go into general digital business, right? So for the general digital business, as a basis, you have to think about your different operations as a small business. Okay, so what are the different operations of a small business? Number one, you need the customer. So sales and marketing is one of the biggest or the core processes of a small business. Number two, you need to be able to document your money and how it's moving out and coming. So the accounting is also one of the biggest. And then the other one, which is also big, is administration. I put all into it, maybe manufacturing, how maybe you handle your clients and everything, their names and all of that. So these three business core processes, what do you have to do? You have to sit down and ask yourself, how have I been able to serve my customers or for the past 6 months or for the past 1 year? You have to ask yourself that question. How do I do when they visit my social media? Do I call them? After calling them, do I find out what are the specifications? Because as a small business, you have to be able to understand these things so that when you start scaling, you understand how your customers think. So do I call them to find out, okay, what is the specification? How does it, you document all these processes, right? Do I enter my sales figures at the end of the day? Do I do that? That is how you begin to document processes. Now, this was the mistake I did when I started Mukafree. I had so much customer data. I have so much insight. People were interested, but I have no document to show people that this is how my business was doing.
Okay.
Right? It was bad. So at the end, what did I lose? I lose funding. Once I was growing like other businesses who are actually taking funding now, I wasn't documenting. So it is very important. If growth is one part of what you do, it doesn't matter whether it's a service based company or a product based company, you want to be thinking about documenting your processes, because if you ask somebody to come and help you to digitize your processes, the person has to understand what the processes are. Because if the person doesn't understand how you serve your customers and stuff, and what are some of the problems you encountered, maybe a customer got a bad product, well, you didn't document it. So maybe after 6 months, you've forgotten that a customer had a big issue with that skin product because you didn't document it, right? So once a process consultant, maybe someone like me, I'm coming and I'm thinking through how I can use technology to digitize your processes. I didn't know that somebody had an issue. So I haven't put that into your tech tools, right? To cater from where maybe when someone has an issue or how big this issue will be. So please, this is one big thing you have to think about. Always think about documenting. Even if it's on a piece of paper. I say it because that is the basic minimum, right? Now, on a piece of paper, however, if you want to be like maybe a digital business, you want to be using a digital tool to document. It's easier for anybody to access it, and it's easier for you to build and scale from there. One of the most basic is using Google Docs. Okay, so for instance, the only way maybe I am only writing on a paper is maybe when I'm using my planner or I'm trying to document my thoughts, trying to figure out something on my planner or on my board, like my normal whiteboard, right? Aside from that, everything else about the business, after I have figured it out, every single thing about the business, you need to document it. I use Google Docs. Why? Because once I pick Google Doc from maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I know that, wow, so this happened. Oh my God. Okay, so these are the insights I can draw from it. So even though it is good that you are documenting, make sure that you are using an online tool as well, right? So maybe this is my notes, maybe my planner is here. This is my planner, right? So I write from it, and this is my school notes. I have all this stuff here, right? But after I've started to figure out what it is that I'm planning, you need to be able to go and document it in a digitized form. So the first question is that, please, do you have a digitized documentation of your business? Please answer me. I need to know this.
Okay,
yeah, okay, go ahead.
So for us, myself and my partner, Safwa, at Home Stationery, what we do is for our transactions, sales, we have a shared Excel sheet, Google, yes, that we use. So for every sale that comes in, we put it in there, then it automatically populates. So we have one for our sales, we have one for our expenses, and we are able to monitor and see how much profit you are making. Even our costs, so books that we give out to influencers, stuff that we give out to help with marketing activities, we document these things in Google Sheets, and it's really helped us.
That's very, very true. That's very, very true. Google products are extremely free, right? So at its very basic form, I think that is one thing that has helped some of us when we started a business with no money. Because in this age of social media, you can start your business, click, and then somebody can say, I want your products. But at the very basic, maybe you don't have money, right? But Google products are extremely free. So Microsoft, like Mary, you did, and there's the Google Forms you can use. You can also use the Google Docs where you document processes, make sure that you are able to. So for instance, I was working with a client yesterday, and this person is just like less than 1 year selling manufactured products, right? Organic bread and stuff like that. And I was amazed because this person actually took the time to document processes. So how I manage my online process, I was shocked. Not everybody does that. And I'm like, okay, all I did was, okay, at this process, use this. Okay, let's use HubSpot for CRM. Let's use this. There's a free version. I just finished. But here lies the case. I don't know your process. I don't know how you go through. I know that you are selling. I know you're manufacturing. But I don't know how you go about it because every business is different. So maybe I might tell this person to use MailChimp. I'll tell you that based on this, please don't use it because of ABC and stuff. So maybe that's the biggest takeaway from here. The foundation of any digital business, maybe that should be my quote for today. The foundation for any true digital business is data. Right? So data does not necessarily have to be maybe numbers only, which you do for Microsoft Excel. It also has to be qualitative data, which is your processes and what happens, and stuff like that. It's very important because once people get in, they see your data, they're like, okay, this is great. Let's see what we can do. I didn't have data in my Muka Freak business. I failed at raising funds, even though I had a great product, a very great product. And it's one of the biggest regrets that I have up to today. But if you or my competitor was documenting his or her processes, the person has raised funds. I can actually show you people who I'm doing way better than, but they've raised funds because they have something to prove what they do. Right? I met this investor. I went to Labat. The person was so interested. Like, where are the numbers? I'm like, what numbers? What are you talking? I don't have data. So please think, if you don't get anything, please document your processes before we go into all this blah, blah, blah. Right? So when you are an e-commerce, from there, if you're an e-commerce business, right? Maybe number one, you want to do market research on your product. So that goes back to the data. How many products are people always ordering for? I realized that in my business, every day, people are asking for wooden plates. I don't know what they use it for, but when I did the research, I realized that restaurants, bar setups, all these people, I was doing B2C, but I realized that I need to find a way to do a B2B, do something around B2B, because I realized that all the time, the bar setup people, those who work in hotels, restaurants, maybe someone from Sunyani Way or Grace Hotel. I have a customer like that. So you need to think through, right? Once you're able to know the people who are always buying from you, you understand that, okay, when I'm building my online platform, because technology is not the master, it's your servant. Technology is the oil that you grease your business. You don't use technology to rule over you, but you subdue technology to work for you. That is how come people have gone for things that didn't benefit them. They go and bring, hey, we just bought this ERM, and they're not getting anything from it. Nobody's using it, right? But then you want to be thinking in terms of, how does this technology benefit me? If it doesn't help you, it doesn't matter how much people is making buzz about it, it will not help you, does it? Right? So you do your market research and see that, okay, this is how I serve you. I always serve, I do aprons and stuff, but everybody's asking for wooden plates. What do I do? So once you start as a digital consultant, what we are doing UI UX, we are going to design your site so much your most sold products are in the face of the customer. We're going to talk about it, reference it, make sure that is what is very peculiar to your business, that people are always buying, you see. But if you are somebody who is just going in, that's a whole new process. You have to do market research, which I don't want to go into today. Maybe you can watch my other video and stuff. After you've gotten all of that, then you choose the technology. What I would say for a small business here is that, number one, you need to be looking at your cost. Free products are everywhere. Hello. There are so many free products. If you're a business owner, please leverage free products, right? So the first most important, Google products. The other one is WhatsApp products. You don't have to go and pay Facebook to schedule your post in your business manager. You won't pay anything. But what is that doing to your business process? It is actually saving you time. Okay? So there are times you see me managing eSchool Finder, Mookafreak, this. I'm not there every day. My LinkedIn post, I don't just go and post. You schedule for the whole month. That's the minimum, maximum you can do. 2 weeks minimum, 1 month. Some people do actually 3 weeks, but things change. So I like the one month. You go there, schedule, research, look around, have a plan, make sure you draw. And that's all you have to do, is to sit down and see your posting and stuff, right? If you have a little bit of money, you can pay MailChimp or any other platform. I like Omnisend a lot, but it's not very popular here, right? $9. Some take as low as $4, right? I think Nalo, you also started the email. Yes, exactly. And then create automations. So once somebody buys a product, we did that for eSchool Finder. I didn't have the energy to be doing all that. So what we did was that we documented our process. Once somebody enters into, oh, I want to be a tutor, you have a thing, yeah. And that's it. The last thing we have to do is to go and check if you are good or you are credible, and then we approve you. And that's like a whole step that we have to sit down, call the person, we talk, are you ready? And I mean, it's just too much, right? And I was just a new business. I was doing that. And so far, we got over 500 tutors when I was not even running a business at all. So think about it, right? So your process is extremely important. That is when the technology comes. So when you're using technology, use the ones that are more free and maybe a little bit, maybe $1, $2, 10, look around that. And then look at also your skill set. There are some of the platforms here, when you open it, it's too much, too many features. This is for big businesses. So if you enter, you don't know where to pass, please drop that platform right now. Let it go. Why? Because a small business, you are doing 1,000 things, right? You don't have a marketing team lead, or you don't have all this. You are the everything, right? So you want to be using platforms that make it so easy. Now, one of the downside of using plenty platform is that you don't have like maybe a centralization to it. And that's one of the downsides for a small business. That's cool. It's okay for you. What I tell people is that what I did was I have a Google document for eSchool Finder, a Google document for Mookafreak, where I add all my small free platforms, and then I add the password, what they do. So if I'm able to share my screen, you see eSchool Finder documents, what I do, the platform. So once you go there, it's my way of centralizing everything, right? Because I know that now I can't pay for an ERP or a house for like $1,000 a month at this time. right? So please, it comes back to using Google Documents. So for technology free, minimum fee, your skill set, it has to be simple, very, very, very simple. And then the last one, which I like to mention, is that if you are using a technology that touches your customers, always make sure that they can use it all. They have to use it, please. If you are giving a technology to say, oh, my app is there, go and download it. I can't download this app. Is it right for your business now? Because your customers cannot use it. So you have to think through, how do you maybe train your customers in through a plan? But right now, I know that my customers, they can't use a mobile app. So I'm not going to worry myself to go, even if I want to give them a mobile app, because a mobile app is my business. There is a way that you start with very basic features, right? So that feeds into product management and all this stuff. But really, the simplest of it is that the last bit of thing you want to consider when a customer needs to, when you are choosing a technology, the customer needs to be able to use it, right? So now you go ahead and build. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to say that in the very last minute, instead of going how to build the technology and stuff, maybe you can contact, because it's a lot. Yeah. So I'm just going to say that as a small business owner, there's a lot that you are using, there's a lot you are doing at the same time, but at the same time, you want to be looking out for growth opportunities. African business, we like doing small business too much, and I don't have any problem with it. Why? Because small business are like, I think, is it 70%?
I think about
or 80. Yeah, and we are actually the bedrock of society. What the government is enjoying is coming from small business. How many big businesses, maybe MTN, all these other guys, right? However, what if it is in your business's DNA to scale?
Right.
Meaning you are not taking opportunity of scaling, scaling prospects for your business. It's very, very important that as a small business owner today, as you have put down your flyer, you are serving people. Think it in your mind. How can my business serve somebody in Togo? How can my business serve somebody in Nigeria? Right? I just wrote Tech Hustle, right? Because of what I've built over the years. I'm selling Tech Hustle in places I have no idea. Nigeria, Malawi. I'm selling Tech Hustle in there. Somebody says, oh, Charity, I'm on your website right now, and I'm buying, the payment is not working. Quickly, I have to go to Paystack and Flutterwave. Oh, it's working. I want to. It's amazing what is happening. Whilst I'm staying in Ghana here, wrote a book. I'm not even on Amazon yet, which is also a great place for me to go, right? But at this point, you need to think about, how can you grow? How can your business serve people in other places? How can you leverage export policies in the country? How can you go to trade shows? How can you do bigger than what you are doing? And I think that that's the biggest thing that most small businesses are facing, because sometimes we are so bogged down with the problems that we are putting out right now that we forget that there's a way for us to become free. Not every day you are always on your business, but at least to the barest minimum, you are able to come to the place where I described, where you have a business and then you detach yourself from your business. And one of the biggest ways that you can scale your business in today's world is to leverage technology. Yeah, so that's just about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's ask a question.
Thank you so much. Please, do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can share with us. So, Charity, I had a simple question. Which areas would you advise that businesses focus on when it comes to digitizing? Is it probably finance? Is it customer service? Is it marketing? As a small business, we are usually overwhelmed with a lot of things. Which focus on at the beginning of the business?
Yeah. Okay. So I did mention all of that. Okay, 2-3 factors. The first one you have to think about is what processes, because sometimes I can tell you that the core business is sales and marketing, which I love, because that's where you get the money from, right? However, some people are okay with how they manage their business. When I start talking, I try to assume that your sales and marketing is boggling you down, but sometimes I can manage it. Don't worry, I'm okay, right? So we want to ask you, what are the processes in your business that is boggling you down, right? So if I have to give a great guess right now, it's your sales and marketing, That's the first step. Because once you start getting all these orders and stuff, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell them 100 pictures one by one by one by one? Like, no, you are going to break down. So all the time, when I want to think about digitizing the first, even if the person does not even need any service from me, I want to suggest that you want to digitize your sales and marketing process. And when I say sales and marketing process, what am I talking about right now? I'm talking about WhatsApp catalog. If you have money, I'm talking about website. I'm talking about your social media, right? All your social media. Make sure you integrate your Facebook shop, IG shop, so that people are able to see describing your product, how to buy, shipping, everything. Now, Facebook requires all that, right? So that when the person is not coming to what is inside your product, what are the ingredients, like you don't have the time to be doing all that. So that is one of the biggest. Please, sales and marketing. And then people also think about maybe the manufacturing process, right? So if you are a coaching business during the manufacturing process, you want to, now I'm talking about sales, because if you're manufacturing shea butter, what's digital, but I'm talking about a coaching. If you're a coach, a service provider and stuff, maybe you want to be thinking about how maybe you can leverage online, because not every day people come and sit down and talk to you, right? So Zoom, just think about all these, right? And then you can, but for me, I'll go for sales and marketing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, guys, we've all heard from Charity, and she's good at what she does. So, if there are no more questions, we'll come to an end here. We'll end the conversation. You can always reach out to her. And I'm sure she'll be ready to lend her time at a cost, though. She'll be ready. Yes.
That's a question.
Charity, any closing remarks before we go off?
Yeah, so the closing remarks, like I'm saying, is that you should document your business. Oh my God, I don't know how to say this again. You have to document. And then last, let's think about ways that we can serve people other than our native country. The world is going global, is going virtual. Very soon, we don't need you. We wouldn't need you to come a program. We just need your face or your avatar. That's a virtual reality. That's another. Maybe one time we can talk about how you can think about the future, digital future for your business, the digital future of your business, right? And how the world is going. Please, 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 you don't want to leave yourself behind. You don't want to think about, oh, let me just do how I'm doing my stuff right now. Because the world is going global and you have to scale to a global business. If we don't do that, we'll be buying products from other countries forever, and then we don't grow, and then we all have to run to America because there's no growth. There's no growth here. So think about scaling, think about digitizing, and think about documenting your process.
So much. I think for me, my biggest from your session today is the foundation for any digital business is data.
Yeah.
So let's start putting down things that are important to us in our businesses, be it finance, be it customer feedback, be it marketing, anything. Business. We can only work on it and implement when we've documented or written them down. So guys, let's go out and make the most out of technology. It's here to help us to get better and to grow our businesses. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you so much, Charity. I'm sure
thank you, listeners. I love you so much. You can always come back. I have so much passion. So come back, ask me any question at all, and I'll ask. But if you have to be doing, oh my God, you have to pay something.
Okay, guys. Bye. Bye. Have a weekend.